Hi, right, at the end of this video, I'd like you to stay tuned because I've got some updates for Davy's court case. So please stay tuned to the end of this video and I'll update you then. I'll speak to you soon. Cheers, guys.
So basically an educational process going on, and that is going, I'm going to be traveling all around Scotland anyway, and just finding out if people actually, police people have to actually know that photography is not a crime and therefore it's not to be.
What we would do in circumstances like that, I can just do it with an officer with 29 years experience. I would take every situation and we would look at it on everything. Now, if somebody's taking photographs of children in a playground,
which is not illegal,
you would,
Yeah.
You don't have a blinkered view. You make a reasonable request and you ascertain why these photographs are being taken, and if it's a reasonable request or it's a reasonable kind of thing, if you're out in the countryside and you taking photographs of the scenery, it's quite clear that there's no offence. But if an officer has any doubts about why the photographs are being taken, he's duly obliged to speak to that person and to ascertain whether what the photographs are being taken for, or on certain circumstances whether the person has given their permission to them for
bullshit,
photographs to be taken. Now that would there are some situations where you have to I'm just thinking, I know as a football coach, people come along and take photographs of my boys when they're taking, but they have to have permission to do that.
bullshit,
Even though it's a situation where they have to come to me as a coach of the football and say, do you mind if I take general photographs of the boys playing football today for a newspaper article or anything else. So there are different situations where you have to get permission to do.
Well, yeah, that's down to the sensitivities of the person who's taken the. But this is one of the things that's becoming an issue. I know I'm going to be going round, and I don't want to be, told to stop because, for example, I came round there, around the back, and I took some video. Of the space where the police cars are.
here we go.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, when you're filming police cars, there will be a potential for a security aspect of that. We don't allow recordings of our buildings.
Bullshit.
We're looking all the time in relation to the potential use that this might have for terrorist purposes.
Bullshit.
If you can say that.
This is one of the problems.
Certainly.
Because the PINAG, photography is not a crime, right? Anything you can see with your eyes in public is deemed fair game. Everything. There is not a building or anything like that unless you want to try and get it into MI6, but people have done videos and that outside, and it's in public, so you can still take the video and the photographs. But this is the sort of thing that I just wanted to address or bring up.
Yes.
Because
you can see why an officer would be curious as to why, or stop the person if they were filming police premises to inquire why they were doing that.
Yeah.
That's again, we've got a process there.
Yeah.
You don't just go in, all guns blazing. You inquire and if it's a reasonable, I would imagine at that time the person would be challenged as to who they were, and it's a reasonable request. You've got nothing to hide. You tell the person who you are and the reason why you're doing it. If it's a
bullshit,
reasonable request and it's a reasonable kind of thing, I can't see a police officer saying, yeah, that's fine. Realise you're doing it for a particular project or something else like that, then yes, as long as you don't go into probably not that it would get access to secured areas or anything else like that. But you're right, what's outside is usually in the public domain, but you would always have a police officer look at it and say, we're living in a state where we always have to be security conscious, and so questions could be asked, and if it's a reasonable, then it's fine.
Right.
All right.
That's great. I now got information that I needed to have.
Great.
And just watch how quickly this public servant wants to get away from being questioned.
Thank you very much.
Oh, certainly. There we go.
Thank you very much. Oh. Oh, I thought it was something on the floor there.
That's all right.
There we go.
Get through there. Good stuff.
Okay. Thank you very much. That was a pleasure. No.
Still as cold.
Thanks a lot.
Take care now.
And you. Bye-bye now.
Right, and just to let you know, Davy's court case is on Monday of next week. That's the 20th of January. I'm going to be doing a separate video with regards to this because there's quite a bit of information to go through. I'll keep it as brief as I can, but obviously I want to make sure that the information's correct. So I spoke to Davy today for about an hour on the phone, and he sent me some links, photographs, this, that and the other, and I'll be going through that in the next video. But it's really important that you watch that video, because we need, Davy's going to need a lot of support from us, all of us. So that video is probably more important than this one, although this one was quite funny, so I thought I'd stick it up there. That's a nasty dose of copsplaining. So, alright guys, I'll speak to you all soon, and look out for the Davy court update video, which will probably be out tomorrow.